What's up, WWE Universe? You're watching WWE The Update, where passion meets power. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started with today's epic updates. What happened to Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw has become one of the most talked about and uncomfortable moments in recent WWE history. But this isn't a story about gossip or scandal. It's a story about failure, accountability, and respect. What should have been one of Liv Morgan's proudest moments turned into a night she'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. And the way WWE handled it has left fans furious, questioning how something like this could happen in 2025 and why no one in management seems willing to take responsibility. Liv Morgan's big moment. That night on Raw was supposed to be Liv Morgan's time to shine. After months of consistent performances and rebuilding her momentum, she finally earned a spot in a high-stakes #1 contenders match. The energy inside the arena was electric. Liv looked confident, focused, and ready to prove that she deserved her place at the top of WWE's women's division. Her entrance was met with a roar from the crowd. The lights, the music, the emotion, everything felt perfectly aligned. Liv wore a new custom-designed outfit created especially for the occasion. It symbolized not just her character's evolution, but her personal journey from underdog to serious contender. But behind the scenes, according to several reports, that outfit had already raised concerns during pre-show checks. Production staff allegedly noticed that parts of it could be risky under high movement conditions. Those warnings, however, were brushed off, supposedly in favor of maintaining a certain look for television. When everything went wrong, the match began beautifully. Liv was on fire. Crisp athleticism, smooth transitions, and the kind of confidence that comes only when a performer knows they've got the crowd behind them. She and her opponent were putting on one of the best women's matches of the year. But just over 10 minutes into the contest, everything changed. During a high-impact move involving the ropes, Liv's outfit failed in the worst possible way. The wardrobe malfunction wasn't minor. It was the kind of incident no performer should ever have to experience on live television. Within seconds, her expression went from fierce determination to pure shock and panic. The audience's cheers turned into an uncomfortable silence. What should have been a highlight of her career suddenly became a deeply humiliating moment, broadcast worldwide. The real problem: WWE's reaction. Mistakes happen. Accidents occur in live entertainment all the time, but what made this incident truly upsetting wasn't the malfunction itself. It was how WWE's production team responded in real time. Instead of immediately cutting away from the ring or switching to a wide-angle crowd shot, cameras reportedly stayed focused for several seconds too long. Those few seconds were enough to capture Liv's visible distress. She tried her best to recover, showing incredible professionalism by continuing the match. But anyone watching could see she was shaken. Her composure cracked. The sparkle in her eyes faded into anxiety and embarrassment. What was supposed to be her moment of triumph turned into a nightmare she never deserved. Corporate damage control. The aftermath was as predictable as it was frustrating. Within minutes, WWE's digital team went into full crisis mode. Fan-uploaded clips were taken down across social media platforms, and the official WWE highlights package excluded any mention of the incident. On the surface, this looked like a company protecting its talent, but the official statement that followed told a different story. In that statement, WWE described the incident as an equipment malfunction and praised everyone involved for handling it professionally. There was no apology, no acknowledgement of the emotional toll on Liv, and no admission that internal oversight may have played a role. To many fans, it felt like WWE was deflecting responsibility and subtly placing the blame on the performer. The larger issue: respect and safety. This isn't just about wardrobe malfunctions or television mishaps, it's about priorities. WWE can spend millions on elaborate stage setups, fireworks, and marketing campaigns, but if they fail to protect the people who make their shows possible, what does that say about their values? Performer safety isn't just about preventing injuries, it's about emotional protection, respect, and giving wrestlers a sense of security so they can perform without fear of humiliation. Women's wrestling has come a long way. The revolution of the last decade was built on equality, skill, and respect. Incidents like this undermine that progress. They remind fans of a time when female performers were treated as sideshow attractions instead of athletes, and that's something no fan, male or female, wants to return to. The responsibility of fans and media fans also play a role here. Sharing clips of the incident, making jokes, or using it for clicks only deepens the harm. This was not entertainment. It was a human being's worst professional nightmare. True fans support their heroes when they're vulnerable. They demand accountability from the companies that profit from them. The wrestling media must do better, too. Far too many outlets ignored the story or downplayed it to protect their relationship with WWE. Journalism in wrestling often walks a tightrope between access and truth, but when dignity is at stake, silence becomes complicity. The industry needs voices willing to challenge power, not echo it. What WWE needs to do. Next. This situation demands meaningful action. WWE should begin with a public apology, a genuine one, not a legal statement. They need to acknowledge that the incident was preventable and that better safeguards must be in place. The company must introduce stronger costume safety checks, backup plans for live broadcasts, and a clear performer-first policy for emergencies. Liv Morgan deserves more than sympathy. She deserves assurance that no performer will ever experience what she went through again. And the entire women's roster deserves to know that their safety, physical and emotional, is non-negotiable. A moment that could redefine the future. What happened on Monday Night Raw wasn't just one woman's bad night. It was a wake-up call for an entire industry. Wrestling has evolved from spectacle to sport, from exploitation to empowerment, but that evolution is fragile. Every incident like this tests whether companies truly value their performers as people, not just as brands. Liv Morgan's courage, professionalism, and grace in the face of humiliation have earned her more respect than any storyline ever could, but she shouldn't have had to show that kind of resilience. WWE and the entire wrestling world should learn from this. Protect your performers, listen to their concerns, treat them with the dignity they've earned. Conclusion. Liv Morgan's ordeal isn't a scandal to gawk at. It's a mirror held up to an industry that still struggles to balance profit with humanity. This moment could either be remembered as another controversy quickly forgotten, or as the spark that forced real change in how wrestling protects and respects its talent. WWE has a choice. Acknowledge what went wrong, fix it, and rebuild trust, or continue pretending nothing happened and watch faith in its leadership erode even further. As fans, it's our responsibility to demand better, because when a performer gives their all, the very least they deserve in return is protection, respect, and the chance to perform without fear. The night that should have defined Liv Morgan's greatness instead exposed WWE's biggest weakness. The question now is whether the company will learn from it or let history repeat itself again.